The story begins in outer space, where Major Collins struggles to understand the orders coming from Mission Control as everything around her starts falling apart. On a monitor, General Kowalski urgently tells her to get out immediately. Before she can respond, the lights suddenly go dark, and a horrifying scream echoes through the station, leaving her frozen in fear. Back on Earth, a shy teenager named Alex is watching a live NASA broadcast about a new thruster test. His mom interrupts him and tells him it's time to leave. At the same time, a rich kid named Darius says goodbye to his parents and heads off to summer camp, leaving behind his comfortable lifestyle. Meanwhile, a girl named Jen is flying alone to the United States. To get through airport security, she pays a random guy to pretend he's her uncle. Once she lands, she tells her cab driver she's heading to a campsite called Rim of the World. Alex eventually arrives at the camp, where one of the counselors, Logan, welcomes him with a goofy handshake. He also meets Conrad, another counselor who jokingly shows off his muscular chest. Not long after, Alex notices Jen and tries speaking to her in her own language, but she completely ignores him. Darius arrives a little later and is stopped by a pretty camp counselor, who asks him to put his phone in the collection box. Distracted by her looks, he lies and claims he left it at home, even though it's still sitting in his pocket. Before Alex's mom leaves, she makes him sing their embarrassing goodbye song in front of everyone, leaving him completely humiliated. Later, Alex decides to try the zipline, even though he's terrified of heights. At the top of the platform, Darius attempts to flirt with Jen, but she has zero interest in him. When it's finally Alex's turn, he looks down, panics, and freezes. Even with the instructor trying to calm him down, he can't do it, and climbs back down while everyone watches. Not long afterward, the campers hear breaking news that NASA has lost contact with the space station and no one knows what happened to the astronauts. The next morning, the camp heads out for a trip to the lake. Darius first tries riding with the adults but quickly gets kicked out, so he joins the kids instead. He immediately starts shoving Alex to make more room. When Logan finally gets behind the wheel, he casually admits his driver's license has been suspended, making every kid in the van nervous. Once they reach the river, they discover the canoe they're supposed to use is filled with disgusting waste. Soon after, Jen wanders into the woods, and Alex nervously follows her. Before long, he realizes they've wandered pretty far from everyone else. She eventually reaches a cliff with the same breathtaking view shown in the camp's brochure. A few moments later, Darius suddenly jumps out of the bushes and drags Alex to the edge of the cliff, thinking he's helping him conquer his fear of heights. Instead, Alex completely freaks out and starts screaming. That's when a teenager named Gabriel shows up and orders Darius to let him go. Darius shoves Alex aside, then squares up like he's ready to fight. He barely gets a chance to throw a punch before Gabriel drops him with one clean hit. After helping Alex back onto his feet, Gabriel mentions that he lives nearby. Suddenly, several explosions echo across the area. Darius secretly checks his phone and finds an emergency alert warning everyone to stay away from a mysterious unidentified ship and evacuate major cities. The kids rush back toward the lake to find the rest of the campers, only to discover everyone has already disappeared. More explosions rock the sky as military aircraft race overhead, and suddenly every cell phone stops working. To make things worse, they're stranded in the middle of a forest filled with dangerous wildlife, including black bears. After hiking for a while, they finally make it back to camp, but the place is completely deserted. The only thing they find is a note saying everyone evacuated down the mountain. Conrad is still there, but he's unconscious. Jen finds his water bottle and drinks the whole thing without hesitation. Inside one of the camp buildings, they discover the power is completely out. Alex guesses that a nuclear blast high in the atmosphere may have created an electromagnetic pulse, disabling every electronic device and even vehicles. Just then, another explosion shakes the camp. The kids run outside and spot an advanced F-22 Raptor flying overhead. Seconds later, several aircraft begin attacking each other, firing across the sky. One blast lands dangerously close, throwing the kids to the ground. Then an unknown spacecraft descends from above and crashes nearby, knocking everyone down once again. Gabriel walks over and tries touching the capsule, but instantly burns his hand because the metal is still scorching hot from re-entry. Thinking fast, Alex grabs Darius's bottle of water and pours it over the hatch to cool it down. Darius tries blocking the entrance, determined to stop anyone from opening it, but the hatch suddenly blasts off with incredible force and sends him flying. A badly injured Major Collins steps out of the capsule. She explains that the fate of the planet depends on delivering a special key to Dr. Fielding at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory. Since she's too badly hurt to continue, she entrusts the mission to the kids. Before they can even react, a terrifying alien with multiple arms appears behind the capsule and charges straight at them. They have no choice but to run, leaving Major Collins behind as the creature brutally attacks her. As they escape, Alex looks back and realizes something even stranger. A second alien, shaped like some kind of vicious dog, crawls out of the giant creature as if it were its offspring. The kids barely make it into one of the camp buildings, but the monsters keep chasing them. While hiding in the kitchen, one of the creatures quietly sneaks closer. They try escaping again, and Alex nearly gets caught. At the last second, Darius accidentally knocks over a pile of silverware, creating a loud crash that draws the alien toward him instead. The creature chases him through the kitchen, smashing through pipes and obstacles without slowing down. Eventually, it corners all of them against a wall. Just as it lunges forward, the kids duck, causing the monster to tumble into a storage room. Moments later, the larger alien arrives, forcing everyone to sprint back outside. The monster tears straight through the wall with its massive claws, barely missing Alex. Out in the backyard, Gabriel and Darius hide beneath a ladder, only to realize the alien is walking directly over them. Meanwhile, Alex and Jen accidentally make noise inside a nearby restroom, attracting the smaller creature. Jen quickly decides their only option is to climb into the filthy sewer beneath them. At the same time, Gabriel and Darius notice the alien crawling through the building's pipes, closing in on their position. Back in the restroom, Alex and Jen are shocked to find Conrad sitting above them, completely unaware of what's happening. Seconds later, the alien attacks him without mercy. Gabriel and Darius sprint back to the space capsule as the creature closes in. They barely manage to seal the hatch before it reaches them. Just then, Alex and Jen arrive outside, begging to be let in, unaware that the alien is right behind them. They race around the capsule while the creature chases them. The dog-like alien finally catches up and leaps toward them, but the kids inside the capsule fire some kind of laser weapon that blasts it away. Before they can celebrate, the larger alien suddenly appears again and slams everyone to the ground. It forces a stream of black goo into Darius's mouth. Luckily, a military fighter jet swoops in at the last second and opens fire, killing the creature. The kids scramble to their feet and run for their lives. Everyone keeps moving, except Darius, who completely loses it and starts yelling at the others. Seeing everyone fall apart, Jen suddenly steps in and slaps the boys, finally speaking for the first time. She gives them a motivational speech that snaps everyone back to reality. As they figure out what to do next, they discover that NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory is in Pasadena, about 70 miles away. Since there's no way they can walk that far quickly, they decide to head to the nearest police station and hand the mission over to the authorities. After grabbing some bikes, Alex admits he never learned how to ride one. Instead of leaving him behind, the others help him practice on the highway. Darius and Jen hold on to him as he pedals, and eventually he manages to ride on his own. Unfortunately, he gets distracted and crashes on the side of the road. As they get back up, they're horrified to see the nearby city completely devastated. Meanwhile, the giant alien survives despite its injuries and discovers that its offspring has been killed. When the kids reach the police station, Gabriel volunteers to leave the bikes outside. Inside, Darius finds a message revealing that nuclear missiles have been authorized for Los Angeles. Europe and Asia have already been destroyed, and the military is desperately trying to locate the source of the alien energy. At the same time, Alex discovers a prisoner locked in one of the cells. The man's name is Lou, and he begs the kids to let him out. They vote on what to do, with Alex casting the deciding vote. He chooses to release Lou, but only after making him promise to wait until the kids have left before walking away. As they continue riding through the streets, they're suddenly surrounded by military vehicles. Soldiers point their weapons at the group, while their commander warns them that the area isn't safe. Alex hands over the key, and the commander explains that he's been receiving Morse code messages from Dr. Fielding. Believing the mission is finally in good hands, the kids board an evacuation bus. Their relief doesn't last long. Enemy fire suddenly rains down on the city, and the bus takes a direct hit. The kids escape the wreckage and look up to see several alien ships battling each other across the sky. At the same time, dog-like alien creatures are running through the streets, attacking anyone they find. A little farther ahead, they discover the military commander trapped beneath the rubble. Knowing he won't survive, he returns the key to the kids and tells them to finish the mission themselves. Moments later, another massive blast destroys the area, but the group barely escapes in time. Realizing they're exhausted and starving, they decide to find food and get some rest before making the remaining 40 miles to the laboratory. Gabriel tells them his house is nearby, but admits it hasn't really been his home for a long time. He finally reveals the truth about himself. The reason he was in the woods is because he had escaped after being arrested, and he believes his own mother doesn't even want to see him anymore. The group spends the night at his house, where they finally get something to eat. Gabriel explains that he ended up in jail after accidentally giving a customer the wrong change at work. The man accused him of stealing, and Gabriel lost his temper and attacked him. Before going to sleep, everyone settles into their rooms. Alex ends up sharing a bed with Jen, something that secretly makes her very happy. In the middle of the night, a strange noise wakes everyone up. They quietly sneak outside, moving through the sheets hanging across the backyard without realizing several armed people wearing creepy masks are watching them. One of the masked men removes his disguise, revealing that it's Lou, the prisoner they freed earlier. The kids are relieved to see a familiar face, but Lou explains that he doesn't want to hurt them. He only wants the key because he believes it could be worth a fortune. Alex refuses to hand it over, so Lou pulls out a knife and threatens him. Before anything else can happen, one of the aliens suddenly appears and tears through Lou's group within seconds. The kids race toward the front gate, but Gabriel stays behind. He tells Jen to throw him a glowing light stick, then uses it to lure the monster toward the backyard pool. The giant alien charges after the light, but the pool cover gives way under its weight, sending the creature crashing into the water. The next morning, the friends continue toward the laboratory, but another argument breaks out. Darius blames Alex for releasing Lou in the first place, and Gabriel jumps into the fight until the two end up wrestling on the ground. After Jen pulls them apart, they calm down and make peace. Elsewhere, the alien they thought they had defeated begins moving once again, ready to continue the hunt. Later, while exploring an abandoned shopping mall, Jen tells Alex that she came to America because her father didn't want her anymore. She also admits she's grateful she met her new friends. After leaving the mall, the group discovers a 1973 Ford Mustang Mach 1. Since the electromagnetic pulse doesn't affect older vehicles, they realize the car still works. Jen floors the gas pedal and speeds out of the parking lot, leaving tire marks behind. During the drive, the alien suddenly lands on top of the car. It forces its claws through the roof, but Jen quickly swerves toward a bus stop, knocking the creature off the vehicle. Just when everyone thinks it's over, the monster catches up again. Thinking fast, Jen tells everyone to jump out while the car is still moving. Seconds later, the Mustang crashes off a freeway overpass, and the alien is crushed beneath the wreckage. Then Alex realizes something terrible. The key is gone, and it was probably left inside the car. Without hesitating, Darius volunteers to climb down to the wreck, even though the alien could still be alive. As he gets closer, he notices the creature is still breathing. He quietly searches through the damaged Mustang for the key, but accidentally turns on the stereo, creating a loud noise. Luckily, he finds the key just in time. As Darius climbs back out, he doesn't notice the alien beginning to stand up behind him, even though his friends desperately try to warn him. The monster suddenly lunges at him, nearly scaring him to death. Darius dives back into the car for cover, then finally manages to escape and reunite with the others. After traveling a few more miles, the group finally reaches NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory. Inside, they discover the entire facility has been destroyed. They desperately search for Dr. Fielding, only to find that he's already dead. Believing there's nothing left to do, everyone decides to split up and search for their families. Just before leaving, Alex realizes Jen has nowhere to go. Moved by the thought, the group decides to stay together instead of saying goodbye. Suddenly, they hear someone calling out to them and discover General Kowalski on a video screen asking about the scientists. When he learns the entire team is dead, he tells the kids the key is useless without them and orders everyone to evacuate immediately. Alex refuses to give up and insists there has to be another way to stop the invasion. The general finally agrees and gives them a new mission. Someone has to go down into the basement and activate the emergency generators. Jen volunteers without hesitation. Before she leaves, Alex gives her his watch and she thanks him with a kiss. At the same time, the others learn they must activate an X-ray laser capable of destroying the alien forces. The key contains the coordinates of the alien mothership orbiting Earth, but before they can fire the weapon, they first have to realign the satellite dish on the roof and access a computer to retrieve the coordinates. Despite his fear of heights, Alex volunteers to climb onto the roof and fix the satellite. Meanwhile, the alien that was crushed by the Mustang crawls out from beneath the wreckage. Even though half its body was trapped, it quickly regenerates and continues the hunt. Down in the laboratory basement, Jen crawls out of a series of pipes and discovers an unconscious woman. At the same time, Alex reaches the communications tower and realizes it's much taller than he expected. Following General Kowalski's instructions, Jen flips the circuit breakers in the correct order, restoring power to the facility. With the electricity back on, Gabriel accesses one of the computers and inserts the key. Now, all they can do is wait for the satellite to finish aligning so they can activate the weapon. Before that happens, the monstrous alien climbs onto the roof and starts chasing Alex up the communications tower. Alex quickly finishes adjusting the satellite, and when he reaches the very top, he grabs a cable and slides all the way down like a zip line, escaping the creature just seconds before it catches him. Down in the basement, Jen accidentally opens the wrong door and releases one of the alien dogs that had been trapped inside. The creature immediately attacks an injured woman lying on the floor, while Jen quietly tries to sneak away. At that exact moment, Gabriel radios in to say that Darius is starting to feel sick. The transmission alerts the alien to Jen's location, forcing her to sprint into a secure vault. She slams the heavy door shut just in time, severing the creature's paw as it reaches inside. Meanwhile, in the control room, General Kowalski sends them the activation code. Gabriel tries entering it, but he can't remember the correct sequence and keeps making mistakes. Luckily, Darius briefly regains consciousness and manages to write the numbers down before passing out again. Even with the correct code, 2 people are needed to activate the system. Gabriel realizes Darius is unconscious once more, but just then, Jen arrives, and together they prepare to launch the weapon. Before they can finish, the giant alien bursts into the room. As the kids back into a corner in panic, Alex suddenly appears and distracts the monster, leading it away from them. With the path finally clear, Gabriel and Jen complete the launch sequence, and the satellites lock into position. The weapon is finally online. Knowing they have only moments to escape, the others run for the exit while Alex heads into a hazardous room filled with highly flammable chemicals. He switches on one of the machines and waits for the alien to follow him inside. The moment the creature enters, Alex fires a flare at the equipment, triggering a massive explosion that engulfs the monster. As flames spread through the room, Alex is haunted by memories of the traumatic accident from his past. This time, instead of freezing in fear, he pushes through the fire and fights his way out. Outside the laboratory, the others watch the building collapse in flames. Believing Alex didn't make it, they mourn the loss of their friend. Then, to everyone's surprise, Alex walks out of the burning wreckage alive. The group immediately rushes over and hugs him. At that same moment, high above Earth, the alien mothership is destroyed in a massive explosion. With the invasion finally over, Jen kisses Alex, and the friends celebrate together after successfully saving the world.